It's time for Mornings at 8 with Jonathan Mark on AM 1480 WLEA.
Yes, and here we are. It's Mornings at 8, 5 minutes after 8 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. Wednesday, halfway through the week. That's right. From this point, you can kind of see the weekend peeking up over the horizon, and it'll be here soon enough. Okay, man, I am totally all fired up this morning. I don't care. We have a soggy day in store. It's going to rain. Big deal. Going to have maybe a thunderstorm or two. Big deal. I don't care. Because I am all fired up for two reasons. One, it's a personal one. And two, news. Okay, there's a lot of news this morning. And on the personal front, our granddaughter moves into her dorm room at Alfred State College this afternoon. How exciting must that be? A couple of months ago, she was in high school, and here she is a couple of months later, boom, and she's going to be in college. What a big change. How exciting must that be for anyone? I mean, for anyone. So right there is something pretty cool. It really is. Also, this is her 18th birthday. So she's turning 18 years old, which is a big step for anyone, and on the same day she's moving into her dorm at Alfred State College. Wow. Just wow. I never spent a lot of time at college, just a little bit, just enough to learn my way around campus, and then I quit. Because I figured that's enough. I know the campus, and there's nothing new. And anyway, I'm ADD. So that was the end of my college. It was short and sweet. Yeah, but moving into college, right? She's going to be living on her own in a dorm room. I mean, how exciting is that? Especially in these, now it's exciting any old time, but especially in these times. Everything is so chaotic out there. And, you know, as an now she's 18 years old. How do you like that? As an 18-year-old, how complicated must all this seem, you know? And then you add in turning 18, and man, it's a big, big day. So I'm pretty excited about that, as is her grandmother, my wife, and her mother, of course, is my wife's daughter. A little complicated there. Anyway, so all of us are pretty excited. And she wants to major in some kind of biomedical field thing there. So I'm not quite sure. She isn't quite exactly sure either. But she wants to major in biomedical stuff, and which would be way beyond me. How you would want to tackle that, I don't know, but that's what she wants to do. And if anybody can handle it, she can. We are extremely proud of her. I mean, exceptionally proud. And she's a little unsure. Yeah, something in the biomedical field, but I don't know exactly quite what. And my advice is, you know, at 18 years old, you're just starting college. You can major in whatever you want to major in. You can do whatever you want to do. I think to make a decision on what you want to do with your life early on when you're 18 years old is great. I mean, it really is. It's great. So don't be afraid to make a choice, and don't be afraid to leave your options open. If you make a decision to do something at 18 years old, fine. Just keeping in mind that it isn't set in stone. You can always change your mind, you know? As long as whatever you choose, you do the best you possibly can at it, you know? And yeah, so for a kid, you know, starting college, do whatever you want to do. Major in this, major in that. As I said, our granddaughter can do anything that she sets her mind to. She's a really intelligent kid. She reads everything. I mean, she reads everything about everything, constantly reading. Read. And that's good advice for anybody. Read. Learn all you can about all the things you possibly can. Because you never know when it's going to come in handy. It might be 10 years down the road. It might be 50 years down the road. But learn all you can about everything you possibly can all the time. And that's what she does. And I'm sure that whatever she chooses finally, it'll be the right choice. Because we have a lot of faith in her. Which kind of brings me to my next point. You know, in our country, you can be whatever you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do. at any time in your life. Never feel stuck, you know? And a lot of people do. Well, I'm doing this, and I guess I'll always be doing this, and here we are. I guess, okay, here we are, and that's what I do, and I'll always do the same thing. No, you don't have to. You can change your mind any old time you want to, you know? And when you think of it, there are many places in the world, many countries, whole huge sectors of the globe, where you are, and you will always stay where you are, because there is no upward mobility. And what you're doing is what you'll always do. But here in our country, the greatest ever, you can do whatever you want to do. And to blame your circumstances on somebody else is a major, big mistake. Well, you know, I live in this zip code. Yeah, there's something on TV. It's on the radio, too. Well, because I live in this zip code, I can't do this because I'm stuck here. No, you're not. Nobody is. Ever. You could be 20 years old, you could be 18 years old, you could be 40 years old, you could be 80 years old. You could always change what you want to do, what you want to be. And as I said, you can be or do whatever you want to do as long as you want to be it or do it badly enough. You can change at any old time, you know? And there are so many people who blame everybody else for where they are. And they blame other people or the system or the establishment on being where they are. I can't do anything. Really? No, you're the one who doesn't want to do anything. You're the one who doesn't want to change. And you can't blame the government. And you can't blame circumstances. There are plenty of people out there, who have made huge successes of themselves, coming from less than ideal circumstances, you know? Yeah, there are a lot of people who have built businesses. They've gone on to make a lot of money. They have been highly successful coming from really bad circumstances, lots of them. But because they wanted to do what they wanted to do so badly enough, they went out and did it. You can't wait for anybody to give you a hand. You've got to do it on your own. You're the only person who can make you go. You're the only person who can make you stop. Right? You were your best motivation, you know? So you can't depend on other people. You just can't. It's nice if you have a little backing here and there, but it's not necessary. Oh no, it's just not necessary. You can do it all on your own. And as I said, you know, in this country, you can do that. You have the freedom to do it. And you know, you needn't depend on anybody. You know, this isn't a caste system here, you know, and it is in other places. Yeah. How about China or India or Pakistan or a lot of places in South America? If you're doing something now, you'll be doing it in 20 years from now, assuming you live that long, you know. But here we have the opportunity to do whatever the heck we want to do, whenever you want to do it. You could be 80 years old and change your line of work, you know. You could be 30 years old and change your line of work. You can start a business. You can go into another field. You can do whatever you want to do. That's the point. And that's one of the beauties of this country, is that we have mobility, you know. So as far as our granddaughter goes, maybe she wants to enter the biomedical field, or if she changes her mind, fine. Fine. Change your mind. Maybe you'll change your mind once, or twice, or 10 times, or 20 times. But eventually, you know, you will find what you really want to do and what you were meant to do, you know? So there we are. I thought I'd mention that. Yeah. Okay, that's on a personal level. Boy, I really am fired up. Yeah. Anyway, okay, now, as you heard on Brian's News, Margaret Horan of Arkport has won her suit against the Village of Arkport. Judge Robert B. Wiggins of the 7th Judicial District Court in Livingston County ruled in her favor over the zoning of her property in the Village of Arkport. Horan wanted to designate the property as commercial, while the village strongly opposed, trying to keep it labeled as agricultural. And with this ruling, Horan is now free to sell the land to a developer, which she intended to do months back but couldn't because the village board refused to change the designation, the zoning. At a board meeting months back, sometime in the early spring, I think, about 100 people, possibly more, showed up at a meeting, and they voiced their objections to the idea of putting a Dollar General store at, I'll tell you where it is. It's, you know where those storage units are in Arkport? As you're going north, they're on the left, and as you're going south, they're on the right. And let me see how close. It's very close to where the turnoff is. If you want to go to downtown Arkport, you kind of turn there. You make a right if you're going north, right? It's just a little south of there. So that's where those storage units are. And that's where Dollar General wants to put a store. And now there are still hurdles that will have to go in. It'll have to go in front of the planning board and the DEC. And how about being in a floodplain or environmental impact? How about traffic issues, which I'll get to in a second here? So, Trustee and Deputy Mayor John Hedges last night at the meeting. Our own Bill Dugan was there, by the way. The entire story is on our website, including a video. So that's neat. So Trustee and Deputy Mayor John Hedges said there's probably 75 to 100 people in this village that do not want a Dollar General store there, and it is up to us to fight for them. So the village now has 30 days from August 6th to file their appeal. And they've agreed, the village board has agreed not to exceed a certain dollar amount in fighting the judge's decision. So the village will appeal. Now, a little editorial comment here. Of course, what am I talking about? This whole show is editorial, right? It has been right from January when the thing started. When I did news, real straight news, for years and years and years, I tried to be objective all the time. I was as objective as you could possibly be on this planet. I always tried really hard. Here are the facts. This person said that. This person said this happened, that happened, and then you make a decision, right? But now that I'm no longer doing straight objective news, now I can be subjective, which is what I am all the time. So I will read you stories from here, there, and the other place, a real story and a real source, and then I'll make little comments on it here and there. So really, it's a combination of objective and subjective, right? So this is purely subjective. But I first moved to Hornell in 1970. And I was speaking with someone recently. And I told him, I moved here in 1970. And he says, that's the year I was born. And I went, really? Well, thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. Anyway, so I moved here in 1970. And other than spending 9 years in California, why ever I did that, I have no idea. But so basically, I've been here 40 years. And I remember Union Park. Now you can see Union Park only in photographs, right? I remember Union Park and the Park United Methodist Church, which was down in the Union Park area. How about the Sherwood Hotel? Remember the Sherwood Hotel, anybody? Any of our older listeners, right? I remember Brian shaking his head no. Okay, fine. Anyway, so there was a big famous hotel in Hornell called Sherwood Hotel. I remember when they had the auction. They auctioned off everything inside the Sherwood Hotel. I remember Ted Mike's newsstand. Anybody remember that? Of course you do, at least our older listeners. So it was a long time ago. And even in 1970, when I first moved here, there was a boatload of traffic. I mean, a boatload of traffic coming south from north of Arkport, Dansville, and points north of that, going south on 36. There was a lot of traffic even then, 49 years ago, or going north from Hornell and Canisteo, going north toward Rochester. And there's a boatload of traffic there. And there still is. A lot of 18-wheelers, a lot of private vehicles. There's a lot of traffic. And by putting a commercial store there, especially a dollar store, dollar stores are always pretty busy. A lot of people go to dollar stores. So here you have a busy parking lot right by a turnoff and across the street, across the road from the ball fields. Right? All that's going to have to happen is one child be hit. One motor vehicle accident. And how will that go? Now, I'm all for free enterprise. I could do with a little more free enterprise myself, and I'm all for capitalism. I could do with a little more capitalism myself, a lot more, as a matter of fact. But, the idea of putting a dollar store there, I don't think it's such a good idea. As I said, this is an editorial. This has nothing to do with LEA. This is only me. You can always contact me at studio1227@twc.com. Studio1227@twc.com. So I don't think it's such a hot idea. I really don't. And I can agree with the residents of the village of Arkport who turned out in the early spring to voice their objection to this. So I just thought I'd throw that in. I don't think it's such a hot idea. And so there you go. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, I was going to tell you about the license plates, which I'll get to after our break. Okay, insurance. Everybody needs insurance. How about the Ryan agencies? Can't do any better than the Ryan agencies. They're local, they're independent. They don't work for one insurance company. They find the best rates for you from the best insurance company based on your unique needs. That's how to do it. They offer you the best insurance value. They're experts in your unique insurance needs. They're good local people. Very important, they're local people. They live right here. So they know the Canisteo Valley area and Wellsville. Matter of fact, they have offices in Hornell, Jasper, and Wellsville. They have a website in which you can pay your bill. That's handy. Report a claim, email an agent, get a quote, meet the staff. Pretty good website. And that's RyanAgency.com. The Ryan Agencies.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
News from the NFL, where the Dallas Cowboys are a team with several players looking to get new contracts, while quarterback Dak Prescott, wide receiver Amari Cooper, and holdout running back Ezekiel Elliott are still waiting. The team signed linebacker Jalen Smith to a 5-year, $64 million extension with $35.5 million guaranteed. In baseball games of note, the Cardinals beat the Brewers 9-4, while the Cubs knocked off the Giants 5-3. St. Louis remains a half game up on Chicago for first in the NL Central. The Rays lose to the Mariners 7-4. It was the A's knocking off the Yankees 6-2. Tampa Bay and Oakland are now tied for the final wildcard spot in the American League. The Twins take care of the White Sox 14-4. It was the Indians losing to the Mets 9-2. Minnesota's lead on Cleveland for first in the AL Central is now at 3 games. And the Phillies edge the Red Sox 3-2. Philadelphia and New York remain 2 games out of that final wildcard spot in the National League. Dodgers defeat the Blue Jays 16-3. It was the Braves over the Marlins 5-1.
From the Fox Business Network, Walmart is suing Tesla, saying its solar panels can catch fire. Walmart says fires have started on rooftops of several stores in California, Maryland, and Ohio. The retailer accuses Tesla of failing to adopt adequate maintenance protocols. Walmart says the systems are owned by Tesla, and Tesla promised to maintain them. The Federal Reserve releases minutes from its July meeting today. Investors are looking for signs of more interest rate cuts. MoviePass has left tens of thousands of customers' credit card numbers exposed. TechCrunch says a security researcher found the unprotected database, which contained 161 million records. MoviePass has since taken the database offline. The Dow was down 173 yesterday. The Nasdaq dropped 54, S&P down 23. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
Do you want to learn to speak a new language but don't have enough time? Then you need to try Babbel, the language learning app that you can try for free right now at Babbel.com. Babbel's lessons are just 15 minutes or less, and you can go at your own pace. You'll be amazed at how easy Babbel makes it. Start your first lesson in the language of your choice for free. Just download the Babbel app or go to Babbel.com now. That's Babbel.com.
Today at Simmons Rockwell Ford in Hornell, Bath, or Halstead, drive a new 2019 Ford Escape SE 4x4, equipped with heated power seat, 8-inch touchscreen media, and alloy wheels. Now buy for only $21,099. Shop the Simmons Rockwell Ford dealerships in Hornell, Bath, or Halstead. Simmons-Rockwell.com.
Okay, and here we are. Now, yesterday, I had a story about Governor Cuomo has unveiled a plan that there are 5 new license plates out there, And the state is asking for the public's input on which new license plate we should have, right, to replace our current ones. And beginning next year, license plates that are 10 years old or more will need to start being replaced under a license plate replacement program. On Monday, the governor unveiled 5 new official license plates designed for residents to vote on. Now, New York GOP Chairman Nick Langworthy is calling the state's 10-year license replacement program, quote, another cash grab. He says, I don't see why people should be forced to trade in perfectly good, non-peeling license plates and pay another $25, Langworthy said. Starting in April 2020, as this coming April, when New Yorkers renew vehicle registrations, they'll have to pay an additional $25 license plate fee to see if their plates are at least 10 years old. And those who want to keep the same plate number will need to pay another $20 on top of that, which makes, let me see, 25 and 20 is 45. Democrats have also hit back at the program. In a statement, Senator David Carlucci said, a required fee to replace old license plates is arbitrary and does not in any way benefit drivers. And there are a bunch more comments from a lot of other lawmakers. And let me see. The governor's office says because of their age, many of these license plates are damaged, oxidized, and peeling, making it difficult or impossible to read the license plate number. They couldn't get the license plates right originally, and now we got to get all new license plates to replace the ones that don't have peeling paint? I mean, why? Langworthy said. If you have peeling plates, the DMV will exchange them for a new set of plates free of charge. So if, let me see, if 3 million vehicle plates were replaced at a $25 fee, that would total $75 million. Now, the governor says it's not a money grab. Not what Langworthy said. Langworthy says it's a money grab, and the governor says it's not. He calls it a cost saver, except he doesn't exactly explain how or why that would save money. Anyway, so there you go. So yesterday I came up with this idea of my own replacement plate. And now the ones that are out there, these 5, I couldn't, the story I had yesterday had kind of a blurry, the picture of these plates, and 4 of them were of the Statue of Liberty. One looked like Niagara Falls. It's not. There were 4 views of the Statue of Liberty and 1 of the Mario M. Cuomo Bridge. What a surprise. So anyway, those are the 5 possibilities. Now, I came up with my own, and maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. But, in my mind, I envision a license plate, New York State, right, with Excelsior, with a taxpayer standing in the middle with their pockets turned inside out, right, and going, yep, with shrug on their shoulders. So anyway, that would reflect New York State, I think. So that's my idea, although I don't think it's going to fly. Who knows? Oh, what else? I had something else here. Oh, yeah. How much time have I got? Darn. Conan O'Brien, the late-night show host on something or other, vows to negotiate Trump's Greenland deal. And what Conan O'Brien says, of course, you know that Trump wanted to buy Greenland. The Greenland Prime Minister says, what? The Danish Prime Minister says, I don't think so. The whole idea is absurd. However, Mr. O'Brien says he will negotiate the deal. And it's his plan to offer Denmark, who owns Greenland, Florida in exchange. So he says he will try to negotiate a deal with Denmark that would give Denmark Florida, and that we would get Greenland. So there you go. That's his idea, and who knows. And also, despite Denmark insisting that Greenland is not for sale, O'Brien said he's convinced otherwise and warned that China will snatch it with all cash. So, all right, he says, Denmark, you want to play hardball? I'm ready to sweeten the deal. We could do a straight trade, Greenland for Florida. Okay, so that, I don't know how that's going to go, but here we go. So he will negotiate the deal if indeed it comes through. Okay, fine. I guess that's it, and I will see you tomorrow at 8:05. Bye.